Tonight, Hurricane Erin barreling up the East Coast. Powerful waves blasting the Outer Banks with dangerous storm surge, flooding roads and battering homes. The worst of it arriving now as the massive storm makes its presence felt. The Cat 2 hurricane so big, it's threatening towns from the Carolinas all the way to Maine. The major parole decision for Erik Menendez with his brother up tomorrow. 36 years after murdering their parents, will the brothers now walk free? President Trump's major legal victory, an appeals court tossing out that $500 million fine the president was set to pay in his civil fraud case. Redistricting showdown with that redrawn congressional map approved in Texas. California now ready to launch a new map of its own. What it means for the midterm elections. Campus shooting scare. Police swarming Villanova University after reports of an active shooter. What we know at this hour. She's one of the world's greatest athletes with a major reveal to NBC News. Why tennis legend Serena Williams says she's now using an injectable weight loss drug. And we'll show you the moment this NFL quarterback is brought to tears. He didn't have much growing up, came in as the fourth string, how his life just changed. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
And good evening. Tonight, as we come on the air, Hurricane Erin is sending powerful storm surge and waves crashing up and down the East Coast. Now, a Cat 2. The worst of the flooding is just beginning. Even though Erin is technically 370 miles off the coast of Cape Hatteras and making its way out to sea, it's just so big, as you can see here, it's buzzsawing a massive swath along its path, spinning up to 100-mile-per-hour winds and smashing into the majestic homes along the Outer Banks, to piers off Virginia Beach, to the ferry tossed in the waves up in Rhode Island. It has been an intense first taste of hurricane season for those who opted to ride it out, including our Erin Gilchrist, who starts us off from Kill Devil Hill, North Carolina. And Erin, the storm there still wreaking havoc right now.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. Our team just had to move into the dunes because the waves just got a little too close, closer than they've been all day long. It's reinforcing the message from officials that the water is still not safe. On North Carolina's Outer Banks, the impacts of Hurricane Erin seen in these storm surges bringing floodwaters onto hard-hit Hatteras Island. Waves crashing high onto the stilts, propping up homes right on the shoreline. Water flooding in as neighborhood streets are washed out, even as crews are already out by the beaches to repair flattened sand dunes. Video from the now closed-off Hatteras Island showing a rising ocean punching right through sand dunes. Steve Nelson owns a hotel on the island, now a safe haven for residents who didn't follow evacuation orders.
It has withstood Category 3s. We built it and engineered it to withstand a Category 4. May we never test that? We can last about 6 weeks without anything from the outside.
Victoria Murray did evacuate Hatteras with her kids, moving their vacation to Kill Devil Hills.
We are avoiding the beach, we are avoiding the water. We've been thankful that we haven't experienced any power outages, but we were prepared for that just in case.
I'm worried about losing my beach houses, yes.
96-year-old Carol White Dillon, who we met yesterday inside the evacuation area, rode out the worst of the storm. We spoke again tonight. And how are you feeling today?
I'm tired, emotional, but it could have been worse. I could have lost those two buildings that the water was hitting.
Double red flags still posted all along the Outer Banks, a warning to stay out of the water. The Category 2 hurricane with a wind field larger than Hurricane Katrina remains hundreds of miles from the coast. Its winds tonight impacting the Northeast from the Jersey Shore to southern New England. Streets flooded on Long Beach Island in New Jersey, where the governor today declared a state of emergency in anticipation of Erin's wrath. Lifeguards patrolling the beaches to make sure there are no swimmers.
They're bummed that they can't be out on the beach.
Now, even with Erin moving on now, the Outer Banks is not out of the woods just yet. The high tide is just starting to come in, and it is possible that the storm surge could be the worst yet. Tom?
Okay, Erin, leading us off there. Erin, we appreciate it. Now to the worst of the flooding starting to pick up along the East Coast. Bill Cairns is here live in studio for us. And Bill, even though Erin is pulling away, walk our viewers through this, the worst of the weather is going to be coming in now.
Yeah, this is unusual. The storm's pulling away, but the worst of the flooding is still on its way in. Strong northeast winds behind this storm system and a high astronomical tide. It was going to be bad anyways without Erin. And now we got the storm surge of 2 to 3 feet on top of it. So far, all the pictures that you've seen have been from this morning's low tide, high tide this morning. Now we're going to see the high tide this evening, 2 to 3 feet higher than that. That's why from Long Island all the way down to Virginia Beach and the Outer Banks, you're under coastal flood warnings for this high tide that is now rolling in. All of these gauges here, we're expecting moderate to some cases major, and that means damaging storm surge as we go throughout the next couple hours. We're also watching, obviously, some other things out there in the Atlantic, too. I'm happy to tell you none of those are expected to hit any land.
Okay, that is good news. Bill, we thank you for that. We want to turn now to California, where officials at any moment will decide whether to grant the Menendez brothers parole. It's the first time they're eligible since they were convicted for murdering their parents more than 3 decades ago. Here's Liz Kreutz.
Tonight, the Menendez brothers waiting to learn their fate. Erik Menendez sitting before the California Parole Board ahead of his older brother Lyle's hearing tomorrow.
I just know that on a day like today, that redemption is possible.
Earlier this year, a judge reduced Erik and Lyle's sentences, making them eligible for parole for the first time since they were convicted of killing their parents, Jose and Kitty, in their Beverly Hills home 36 years ago.
Defendants, please rise.
Their story recently thrust back into the spotlight following the popular Netflix series Monsters. At today's hearing, Erik joining virtually from his prison outside San Diego, during which a panel of commissioners are expected to be questioning him about the crimes and his record in prison, and also looking at tens of thousands of pages of prison records, as well as a psychological risk assessment conducted about the brothers. According to the LA District Attorney, psychologists determined they have a moderate risk of violence, finding Erik remains vulnerable to the influence of others, including his brother, Lyle, who they described as narcissistic and antisocial. During their high-profile trials in the 90s, the brothers were viewed as entitled and greedy young men who killed their parents for money. But Erik and Lyle have long maintained they acted in self-defense after years of sexual abuse by their father. And a new generation of supporters, as well as their parents' own surviving siblings, have been pleading for their release.
The whole world was not ready to believe boys could be raped, or that young men could be victims of sexual violence. Today we know better. We know that abuse has long-lasting effects.
Tonight, the board expected to soon decide whether to grant Erik parole, a consequential decision that could pave the way for the brothers' freedom.
Liz joins us now from outside the brothers' prison. Liz, if one or both of the brothers are granted parole, what happens next?
Well, Tom, there's still then no guarantee they are released. The parole board will have up to 4 months to review their decision, and then ultimately it will go to Governor Gavin Newsom, who has the sole authority to approve or reject any decision by the board. Tom.
Liz Kreutz for us. Liz, we thank you. We turn to politics now in the major legal win for President Trump, with an appeals court tossing out that massive $500 million penalty against him after he lost that New York civil fraud case. Here's Gabe Gutierrez.
Tonight, President Trump out with the federal law enforcement he's deployed to the streets of D.C., touting progress in his crackdown on crime.
We've had some incredible results. It's like a different place. It's like a different city. It's the capital.
All of it as the president is celebrating a major legal victory, with a New York appeals court throwing out a roughly $500 million civil judgment against him.
I had a victory today, you know. They stole $550 million from me with a fake case, and it was overturned. They said this was a fake case. It's a terrible thing, but that's a nice victory, you know? I mean, it's not bad.
The 5-judge appeals court was deeply divided. 2 said Trump was correctly found guilty of fraud. 2 said he should receive a new trial, and a 5th judge said the case against Trump should be dismissed. All 5 concluded the penalty against Trump was excessive and violated the 8th Amendment. One judge writing, while harm certainly occurred, it was not the cataclysmic harm that can justify a nearly $500 million award to the state.
It was a witch hunt. And I've had more witch hunts than any human being, I think, in history.
The ruling's a huge blow for New York Attorney General Letitia James, a Democrat who brought the case in 2022, accusing Trump and his family real estate business of inflating his net worth to get better terms on loans. James plans to appeal, and she highlights the ruling that Trump committed fraud still stands, writing yet another court has ruled that the president violated the law and that our case has merit. It all comes as the Trump Justice Department investigates James, both for bringing this case and for new allegations she committed mortgage fraud. An attorney for James has called the investigations political retribution. Even though he now doesn't have to pay the financial penalty, the president's civil case is not completely over. The ruling leaves in place restrictions on the ability of Trump and his company to do business. His legal team is now expected to keep appealing. Tom.
Gabe Gutierrez for us. Gabe, we thank you. Now to the breaking news in that redistricting battle brewing across the country. California Democrats moving to pass new maps to increase the number of Democrats in Congress after Texas Republicans took a dramatic step to boost the GOP. Here's Ryan Chandler.
Tonight, California Democrats counterpunch. The state assembly passing a new voting map designed to add 5 more Democratic members of Congress from the state.
But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire.
The move a response to Republicans in Texas, the redistricted congressional seats there, hoping to add 5 more Republican seats. California Republicans blasting the Democrats' move.
Well, the problem when you fight fire with fire is you burn it all down.
Texas took the unusual step to change its congressional districts in the middle of a decade with the encouragement of President Trump, aimed at keeping GOP control of Congress.
I think there's tremendous support for it. And, you know, we've watched the Democrats destroy our country in 4 years.
It's a gerrymandering power play carried out by both parties, moving states even farther out of proportion from where their voters are. In red Texas, 42% of voters chose Kamala Harris in 2024, but just about a third of the state's members of Congress are Democrats. We pressed a Republican lawmaker. That's fair representation.
No question it is. You look at California, Illinois, and Massachusetts, not a lot of squealing about fairness there, where they're vastly overrepresented.
In blue California, President Trump won nearly 40% of the vote, but Republicans hold just 17% of the state's seats in Congress.
And Governor Newsom has now signed the legislation that will put the new California map on the ballot. It will now head to voters in November as more red and blue states consider their own redistricting plans. Tom?
Ryan Chandler again for us in Texas. Ryan, we thank you. We're back in 60 seconds with health news from tennis great Serena Williams. Why she says she turned to weight loss drugs as part of what she calls her fitness journey. That's next. It was a personal and revealing message from tennis legend Serena Williams today, talking about her new fitness journey, acknowledging, like many others, she's taking a GLP-1 weight loss drug and being incredibly candid about why. Here's Ann Thompson.
On the tennis court, Serena Williams obliterated opponents with sheer power, discipline, and mental toughness.
Come on!
But after 2 children and in retirement, this phenomenal athlete says even she couldn't defeat stubborn weight gain on her own.
I literally tried everything. I mean, running, walking, biking, stair climber, like you name it, I did it.
Williams revealing this morning on the Today Show that, like millions of Americans, she is taking one of those popular weight loss drugs.
I thought it was really important just to come out and say it, so I'm on a GLP-1 through Ro.
Ro is a telehealth company selling weight loss drugs and other things directly to consumers. And Williams is now a paid spokesperson.
For me, the answer was GLP-1s.
Her husband, Alexis Ohanian, is an investor and on the board of Ro. Weight has long been an issue for Williams, as seen in this 2018 documentary.
The problem is, you're too heavy. You are stocking a lot of fat.
Now joining the list of celebrities on these drugs, Williams hopes to erase any stigma.
I just feel like a lot of people are on it.
Right, and don't talk about it.
And don't talk about
Sure.
it. And so I'm like, well, why are we questioning? We should just talk about it and be totally open.
What she hopes is a message as powerful as her serve.
And Ann joins us now live in studio. Ann, this was kind of stunning because she's a superstar athlete, but she struggles just like all of us.
Yeah, she did. She said she would lose weight, Tom, but she would plateau and she couldn't get beyond a certain point. So she questioned whether doing this, she was taking the lazy way out, but then she said she looked at weight as an opponent and decided to attack it with everything she could.
And she's quite the fighter. All right.
Yes, the competitor to the end.
All right, Ann, we thank you for that. We're back in a moment.
I'm Liz Kreutz outside the prison where the Menendez brothers are housed. And just moments ago, we have some breaking news. We have learned that the California Parole Board has denied Erik Menendez's request for parole. This is a huge blow to the Menendez brothers and their families who have spent months now and years really calling for their release. And it comes after a marathon, more than 10-hour hearing today. We're already getting some reaction to this from Erik Menendez's stepdaughter, Talia. She is posting on social media that she is outraged by this decision, calling it the wrong move, and saying that she is vowing to protest the decision. At this hearing, Erik joined virtually via teleconference from here at the prison. He was questioned by the commissioners who asked about his prison record, specifically focusing on some cell phone infractions that he had, and asked about the crimes, with one commissioner specifically pressing on why the brothers not only killed their father, but also their mother. And Erik apparently got emotional, saying that he wished to God he didn't do it. The prison board also was taking into account a risk assessment that said they'd be a moderate risk to the public if released. Now, Erik can appeal this, and also the board says he can seek parole again in 3 years, but it's a big blow to the brothers. And Lyle now has his hearing tomorrow. Back to you. Here's more Nightly News.
Finally, there's good news tonight, especially for a football family in West Virginia. Life was tough, money was tight, but there was love for their son. That boy, now a man, never gave up on his dream, and tonight, he's changed their lives forever. When Chicago Bears backup quarterback Tyson Bagent signed a $10 million contract extension Wednesday, it didn't just change his life. It changed everything for his family back in Martinsburg, West Virginia, too. Just listen to how he describes it.
Yeah, I think that, a lot of people don't know this, but, my dad is he's my right-hand man, and he didn't even have running water until he was in high school. So there's definitely a lot of things and people that I think I could certainly help with this gift I've been blessed with. I don't really know anybody back at home with any money. So, yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's certainly a weight off my shoulders and my family's shoulders.
And there's one more reason that raise is going to come in handy.
I got a little baby girl on the way, so I'm not really trying to buy nothing too crazy right now.
Bagent often credits his parents for his success. It can't hurt that strong arms run in the family. His dad is a world champion arm wrestler. Bagent played D2 college football 10 minutes from his home at Shepherd University, and he entered the NFL as an undrafted free agent. He signed with the Bears as a fourth-string quarterback in 2023. His coaches say what he's brought to the team ever since is worth every penny of that new deal.
To just put my head down and work and to get, where I am now, I mean, it's, too much to put into words.
That's Nightly News for this Thursday. I'm Tom Llamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.